Hi guys, welcome back to another video. I cannot believe that this is the end of March. Like, can't process that. The fact that we are at the end of March, today is March 31st, and I'm doing the what I read in March and what I want to read in April video right now. I'm shocked. So the first book of March was To Cage a Wild Bird by Brooke Fast, and it was actually my first 5-star read of 2026. Which is sad that it was March that I had my first 5-star read, but hey, that's okay. I was happy. I loved that book so much. It's dystopian. It's her debut novel, which is incredible. It's out now. I highly recommend. It is getting so much hype right now on Booktube, BookTok, Bookstagram, everywhere, rightfully so. It was so good, so fast-paced, so different of a dystopian novel. I feel like they all kind of follow the same storyline. Not all of them, but I feel like the ones I've been reading lately have just kind of followed the same story, and this one was so unique and so good. I highly recommend that book. I had a blast. So I read that on my Kindle and I gave it 5 stars, which is amazing. Then I went straight into my next 5-star read. So it was like I was on a roll. 11/22/63 by Stephen King blew me away. I can't believe how long it took me to read this book, how long it took me to read Stephen King, and how fantastic this book was. I cannot even get over it. That is a chunky book. It took me a while to read. So I finished it in March, but I started it in either February or possibly even in January. I've been reading it like slowly over time. Absolutely loved it. 5-star read. Fantastic. Now I want to read everything by him that's not horror, because I get scared easily. So I like these kind of stories. And I think my next one by him is going to be Billy Summers, because I've heard fantastic things about that one as well. But I read this one, I did the physical book and audio like back and forth, and fell in love with his writing. This man is a genius. Okay, then I went into the Bookstore Diaries, which was an arc that I got, and it was so cute. I gave it 4 stars. It was the cutest. Like, I love anything set in a bookstore or around books, like an author or a librarian or just in publishing. Literally anything about books written in a book is so good to me. I don't know what it is, but this one took place mostly in a bookstore, and I loved that. I ate it up. I remember there was a parrot and he could talk, and he was so funny, and I loved like his little one-off phrases that he would like hook onto. The love story was beautiful. The dynamic between the 2 sisters was, I found that really interesting. I read this at the beach probably like 3 weeks ago. I think it was within the first couple of days of March, and I still remember it so well. So I almost feel like a 4-star rating maybe should go higher. I don't know, there's just something about like, if I can remember a book that well and I think about it like I like it when I think back on it, that's almost a 5-star read to me. Like, a lot of things I will read and I'll really like it and I'll enjoy it for the moment, and then I'll just brain dump it and it's gone. So by the time we get to these wrap-ups, I'm like, I don't remember anything about the book. But this one I really liked. It was so good. I want to read everything by her now. I enjoyed this so much. Okay, then I needed some fantasy romance. So I went into Dark Birch Academy. Wow. Okay, so first off, it was a 4-star read, so it was not like the best read I've ever had, but it was very good. I enjoyed it so much, and I think the second book in the series is going to be a 5-star read. The way that the first book was really good, and it was, you know, the world building and setting everything up, and I enjoyed that, but I almost feel like the second book in the series is better to me because the world is built. Like, now we can really develop the story and the characters and see where they're going to go. So the way the first book ended off was so good, right up my alley, my kind of fantasy romance book. I cannot wait to see where it goes. This is the one that was pitched to me that it was Harry Potter meets Fourth Wing, and I just don't agree with that at all. I think if you're going to read this, go in with no expectations, just it's a fantasy romance book. Don't go in thinking that or comparing it, because that was a little bit of a letdown for me personally. If you do compare it to anything, which I wouldn't compare it to anything at all, maybe Zodiac Academy-ish, but I would go in blind. It was a really good time, and now I cannot wait to get into the second one. Then I shook things up a bit, so I read Of Mice and Men. I read this in school. I did not remember anything about it. I just remember that it was like really sad, but as not a kid, but like as a younger person, I don't know, I didn't really connect with it. Oh, I connected with it this time. I was like boohoo crying reading this book. So I read it physically and I did a little bit of the audio. I think it was like a 3-hour audiobook. And so I was like running errands and stuff. So I had the audio going, and then when I could sit down and read it, I read it. And I mean, it's tiny, like tiny little book. This will break your heart. When I was doing a review for it, I was like, oh, highly recommend, totally recommend reading this book. Pick it up. Oh my gosh, you'll love it. I don't stand by that. I think there were a lot of things in this book that don't really translate well to where we are now. And I think it is really just sad. And I don't know. I wouldn't, if I knew what it was about and I remember what it was about and I had never read it before, I don't think I would have picked it up. But I'm on a mission of rereading the books they had us read in school just to see, like, what were you guys trying to get us to, like, think? Like, what was the purpose of this? So I'm trying to go back and read all those. Like, I have the Glass Castle. I have the, oh, what is it called? 451? The Ray Bradbury? Fahrenheit 451? I don't know if that's right or not. But I have like books like that I'm trying to reread and just see what were we doing. The Secret Life of Bees was one I read I think it was at the end of last year, and absolutely loved it. But yeah, I'm just trying to go back. So I wouldn't say I recommend this book, but it was a beautiful yet heartbreaking story. So if that's your vibe, pick this book up. Okay, then I went into another really short one. This is Catherine Center's newest novella that came out. It's called Everybody's Favorite Guy. It was so cute. To be a novella, she built the world so well and the characters to where I felt like I had their full backstory, and then where they are now, like I totally related to them. I wanted them to win. Like I was sad. There's grief and loss, and there's like a time jump that we're working with here. I thought she did such a good job. I gave this 4 stars. Absolutely love it. I love everything Catherine Center writes anyways, but I thought this was fantastic. Then I went into another arc, and this is The Lie of Having It All, which was book 3, and I want to say the final book, but I could be wrong. But book 3 by Morgan Elizabeth in the, what's the name of the series? Now I can't even remember what the first book is. Hopefully I'll put it up on screen somewhere. But this was the 3rd book in that series, and I've gotten an arc for each book in the series, and I've loved them all so much. This was a 4-star read. It was so good. I really, really, really enjoy her writing. I loved the cameos from the other characters in this book. It has such a good found family, and so you follow 2 characters in the first book, and then in the 2nd book, you follow 2 characters that are in the same town, and they're connected, and then now you're following another 2 characters, but you get all the other characters mixed in. I love that. I eat that up. The Rewind It Back, I just finished that one. The whole Windy City series and the cast of characters, like when they all come together in a book, I eat that up. I love when they do that. So I really enjoyed this book. I love Morgan Elizabeth's writing anyways. I thought this was fantastic. Highly recommend that whole series. I think the first one is a Christmas book. I'm almost positive the first one is a Christmas book, but I cannot remember what it's called. Anyways, okay. Then I read First Time Caller, which I loved. I love Aiden. Aiden is fantastic. He is such a good, mature male main character. You know, sometimes we get them in these romance books and you're like, why? Like, if you can write them however you want to write them, why would you write them like that? You know, like the female main character can be so mature and great head on her shoulders, and then the guy says something, you're like, why would he say that? In a real world, yes, but this is fiction. So she wrote him so well. I absolutely love him. I wanted to see him succeed. Like, yes, I like the male or the female main character as well. So that's Lucy, and I loved her, and I loved her daughter, and I loved her baby daddy / platonic love of her life, Grayson, I think was his name. I really, 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 really liked all the characters in here, but Aiden is just, he's perfect. He's perfect. He's amazing. I relate him to Charlie Lastra in Book Lovers by Emily Henry. So if you liked that book and you liked that character, I just feel like this is the same kind of character, and I loved him, and I love this book. Like, first off, this edition is gorgeous. I cannot wait to get to the second one. I gave this 4.5 stars, and I've heard that the second book is even better, which I don't understand how that can be possible, but I can't wait to find out for myself. Okay, then I went into a book that I'm very sad about because this means the series is over. Goldfinch by Raven Kennedy. This is the library copy, that's why it's so shiny, but I have been putting this book off for a long time. I don't like finishing series because I don't like them to be over, and I loved this fantasy romance series. I thought it was so well done. The world building, the arc that these characters go on. I mean, the first book is like a totally different series from this book. They're totally different characters in a different point of their life, in a different place completely. Like, everything is different. Everything is different. So I have told people, a lot of people I've heard don't like the first book. I really like the first book, but if you don't like the first book in the series, which is called Guild, this is the Plated Prisoner series, push through the first book and keep going, because I really, really, really think you like the rest of the series. It's so good. It has the ACOTAR vibes as far as the first book. You have a Tamlin-like character that you're like, oh, I'm supposed to like this character. This is the guy. And a lot of people have problems with him because he's not the guy. And so you start thinking, wow, he's really actually not good for her. He's actually like a horrible person. That's by design. The guy is coming later and he is absolutely perfect. He gives the Reese vibes, the Kingfisher from Quicksilver vibes, the Toucher and You Die. He's perfect. So highly recommend this series. I'm so sad that it's over. I could see me rereading this entire series one day, because between the last book before this one, which I think was Gold, and this book, I gave like, it was like at least a year break. So I would love to just go through and kind of like binge read that whole series together, but highly recommend. I gave this 4.5 stars. I did the physical book a little bit. I got it from the library so I could just have like some of the book to read together, or to read physically. But I also did audiobook as well, and it's fantastic. Remember, you are stronger than the dark and you have the wings to fly. I just think that's so beautiful. Like, that is so cool. That's so pretty. I love this book. I love this series. Highly recommend. Okay, then we went into, this is my favorite book of the month. Hands down. As soon as I read it, I was like, nothing will top this. This is a 6-star read and series. Rewind it back. Oh my gosh. Okay, here's the funny part.
Sorry, I can't do that in that app.
What in the world is she talking about? Okay. I did not like Mile High. I absolutely, favorite book of the series, loved Rewind It Back. I really liked Called Up. I loved Play Along. And then this one I was so nervous to go into, you guys. I pushed it for so long because I never really liked Rio. I'm just going to say that. I thought he was goofy, silly, and Isaiah Rhodes was goofy, silly, but in a just better way. I don't know, just Rio was just too silly for me, and I was like, I'm not going to like him, so I'm not going to like this book. Let's just show you. Do you see all these annotations? These are all these sweet things that this man said. Like, are you kidding me? He's incredible. He's perfect. He's amazing. Hallie is wonderful. I love them. I love this book. I love the storyline. I love seeing all the cast of characters come back together. The epilogue of this almost had me in tears. Like, I was actually not okay reading this book, or this epilogue. When she is talking about, it makes me want to cry right now. When Rio is sitting there and he's looking at all of his best friends and their partners, and he's going around talking about every one of them, and like who they were versus who they are now because they found their person. I'm like tearing up right now. It is so beautiful. I know these are not real people, but yes, they are. They are real people. You can't tell me different. The edition is stunning. I love this series with all of my heart. I will reread this again one day. I am so sad that this is over, but I still have Monty's book, so I am very, very, very excited about that. But I mean, I'm over here in my feels, and I finished this days ago. Such a good book, you guys. Such a good series. Okay, then we have 3 more. So I Was Feeling Epic is so cool of an audiobook. I don't know if it's a physical book as well, probably, but the audiobook is so good. If you love Vampire Diaries, I love Vampire Diaries. That is one of my favorite. That is probably my favorite show of all time. Yeah, hands down. I rewatch it probably about once a year. I love this show so much. It is absolute perfection to me. And this audiobook was all about how they cast the characters, how they filmed certain scenes. It was from the like writers, producers, directors, photography, the cast, like everybody's point of view. It is so cool. I enjoyed this so much, getting to hear like, okay, in season 1, episode 5, when this person does this is how we had to film that, you know, and this is how long it took, and you know, it looks like we filmed it this way, but actually we had to do all that. Like, it is so cool. It is so cool. the best behind the scenes look of Vampire Diaries that I've ever seen. And I ate it up. I read this, I listened to this, I want to say all in one sitting. It's an 8-hour audiobook, but I listened at 2 times speed, so it's 4 hours. And I sat here, and this is like my little hobby table. I sat here and did my little puzzle and my little coloring, and I listened to it all in one sitting, and I literally wanted more. Like, when it was over, I was so sad. It is so good. I highly recommend, if you love Vampire Diaries, or even if you maybe didn't love Vampire Diaries, I would not listen to it if you have not watched the show. Tons of spoilers. But if you watched the show and you loved it, highly recommend. If you watched the show and maybe you didn't love it, it's still like a really cool behind the scenes of just filming a TV show. So loved that one. Then I did the Paris Apartment. I didn't like this one. Well, I liked it, but I didn't love it. I gave it 3 stars. I listened on audio. I started it when we left the beach, and that was like 2.5 weeks ago. And I just now like kind of made myself finish it, because this is one I have been so excited for years, absolute years. I really like her books, and I thought this one was going to be like right up my alley. There were too many characters. There was too much going on. We were like in a bunch of different points of view. I remember getting really confused at one point and being like, okay, who is this person again? Like, how do they relate to the story? And when that happens, I get pulled out of the story. So I didn't love this one. I do really like other books by her. I recommend her as an author for sure, but this one was not a hit for me. And then I went and read reviews, and it seems like people were having kind of the same reaction to it. So do with that what you will. I would definitely just recommend skipping this one, but reading others by her. Then I got The Arc of Beneath by Ariel Sullivan. This is the prequel to Conform. So I read Conform and absolutely loved it. That was like one of the best dystopian books I've read in a while. It kind of like got me back into dystopian books. Now I've been reading so many, and this was the prequel. I believe it's out now. I think it just came out like a week ago, maybe like the 24th of March. But it's good. It's really good. I gave it 4 stars. I had a good time, but it feels like a completely different story from Conform. I was looking for like the prequel to kind of tell us how we got to where we are now. And in a way, that is what this is. I mean, this is like the start of Haven and everything going on. But I don't know. I just kind of wanted more of the same vibes from Conform, and this is taking on like a totally different storyline, which fair. I mean, it's its own book. It's a big book too. I was reading it on Kindle, so I don't know how long it was, but I feel like every 4 pages that I went, then it was like 1% more. I was like, this is a big book. It was taking a while to get through, but I enjoyed it. It kept my interest the whole time. It just wasn't really what I was looking for going in. But if you haven't read Conform and you just go into this as just a standalone dystopian novel, fantastic. I think that would get higher ratings maybe, but I mean, it is still really highly rated. I think this is a really good book, so I just cannot wait to get back to the story in Conform and go from there. I think this little prequel was just kind of like it's just a diversion. I don't know, I didn't really need this in my life, but it was good. I like her writing. I like her characters. I had a good time. Okay, so now we're going to go a lot faster because I've been filming for 25 minutes. So the books that I want to get to in April, I have 5 arcs that come out in April that I really need to get to. The first is Unbound by Peyton Corinne. And this is the 3rd book in the Undone series. So here's the problem. I've not read the first 2 books in that series, and I thought it was just kind of like romance books have like those interconnected standalones. You can read it out of order. It doesn't really matter. But I have a bestie on Instagram, and she was saying, maybe don't do that. Maybe don't read the 3rd book. Go back and read the first 2. But I don't really have time for that. So this book comes out April 7th. So I don't know if I'm going to just read it anyways and get spoiled, or wait. I want to get the review up. I'm thinking I might just read it and just be spoiled, and that's okay. So anyways, I have that one. Then I have The Book Witch by Meg Schaefer, which I love her writing. I love her worlds that she builds. The Wishing Game was so good. I really, really, really like her writing, and I like the magical realism theme that she has in her books. So I'm very excited for this one. It also comes out April 7th, so I need to get to it quick. Then we have The Escape Game by Marissa Meyer. She is the author that wrote the Cinder books. I don't know what that series name is, but the first book was Cinder, which as far as I remember, it's like a Cinderella retelling, but she's a robot. Half robot? I don't really remember, but I remember starting that book and I didn't love it. But she also wrote the Renegade series, and I loved that series. I absolutely loved it. It was so good. It was so interesting. I almost want to reread that again, like soon. I really, really, really like that series. So I'm excited to try something different by her. The Escape Game just sounds amazing. I don't read what any of these books are about before I go in, so no clue what the book is about, but the cover, the title, and then the author were all a yes for me. Okay, then I have Don't Fall in Love with Me by Paige Toon. This comes out April 14th. I really like her writing. I read, I think it's called 7 Summers by her, and really liked it. So I am excited for just another book by her. The title is like so catchy to me. Don't Fall in Love with Me. Like, I have to know why you don't want this person to fall in love with you. So very excited for that one. And then I have Mad Mabel by Sally Hepworth, and that comes out April 21st. And I love her books. I don't think one has been a miss for me so far. So very excited to get into another one by her. Now, there are some books that I am in the middle of currently reading. So I am right now reading Fake Skating by Lynn Painter. This is the library edition. I also have it on my Kindle as well. I'm kind of going back and forth, but I love Lynn Painter so much, and I have been wanting and needing to read this book for so long. So I am, oh my gosh, I don't even think this is accurate because I've been on my Kindle. I'm maybe like 50 pages in, and I'm really liking it so far. I cannot wait to see where it goes. So this is what I'm currently reading and kind of pushing over into April. Also currently reading The Future Saints by Ashley Winstead. I actually started this at the beach and just didn't vibe with it. I really like the concept. I really like that it's about a band, and I think I'm going to really like it. I just need to like lock in and get a little further. So I am just over 50 pages. It seems like I read a lot and I get, yeah, I'm 58 pages in. I get like 50 something pages in and then I just put things down. So it takes me about 50 pages to decide if I like something or not, I think. But currently in the middle of that one and really do want to like get back to it really bad. And then I'm also currently in the middle of Bluebird Gold by Debney Perry. And I'm liking it. I don't really like her romance books. I like her fantasy romance books. So Bluebird Gold, it's on Kindle Unlimited, and they have the audio version on there, and so I've been doing the audiobook a little bit, and it's okay. It's okay. It hasn't really held my interest, so it's kind of taken a while to get through, but I do plan on getting back to that and finishing that, hopefully. Then for a video, and I'm not going to tell you what the video is about because it will be coming soon, but for a video, I am reading Ruin and Rising by Leigh Bardugo. This is the final book in the Shadow and Bone trilogy. Is that what it's called? The Grishaverse. The first book is Shadow and Bone. So I am reading and listening to the final book in that series. It has taken me so long to get through the series. I'm about halfway through it, and I'm going to be so honest, I don't really care about what's happening with these characters, but I just, at this point, I feel like I just need to get through it. So there's that one. And then also I am going to be reading the final book in the Crave series by Tracy Wolff, and it's called Cherish. So I'm probably doing that one on audio as well. I don't think my library has a physical copy for some reason, and I tried to request the ebook version, and there's like a long wait, which I don't really understand why, because it's not a newer series, but whatever. I have the audio, so I can just do that. And I like this series. I don't love this series. I loved book 1. I loved book 2. And then I think book 3, it kind of started going off for me a little bit, but I'd like to just see it to its completion, finish this series, you know, be done. So I want to just power through and finish this final book and see how it ends up for the characters. And then also for that video, I'm going to be doing Wild Card by Elsie Silver. I am so excited for this book. I love this series so much. So I don't remember what the series name is, but oh, I should totally know what the series name is. I think the first book is Wild Side. I don't know, there's Wild Side, Wild Eyes, and Wild Love, and I don't remember in what order they go in. And then Wild Card is the final one, and if you know the tropes in this book, this is the one I'm most looking forward to, and it's the final book in the series. So I have been putting it off. I know I'm gonna love it, so I just want to get to it now and finish that series out. And yeah, I can't wait to get back in that world. And then 2-3 more that I want to talk about just quickly. I really want to read this book. This is Sarah Adams' book in the, I don't know what the series name is, but this is the, I believe, final book in this series. And I love her books. I think they are such a good time. They're so short, like they're so quick and easy to read. Just a cute little like rom-com book. Sounds perfect. It's giving spring vibes. I will eat this book up. So I could probably read this all in one sitting. I wish I was going to the beach because that would be a perfect like beach read, but alas, I still want to read it. And then also Blood and Roses by Callie Hart. So she wrote the Quicksilver series, and I've never read anything else by her. And this just came out. I think this is an older series that she wrote, and she just like redid the covers and kind of put them in one. I don't really know, but this is volume 1. I'm very excited about it. I love the edges. I think that is like so cool looking. The book itself is really, really pretty. So don't know what it's about. I don't think it's fantasy romance. I think it's just romance. But yeah, I'm really excited about this one. Once there was a boy who lived in the dark and he liked it there just fine. Sounds good. Sign me up. I can't wait. And then the last one is In Her Own League. I want to torture myself. That's what I want to do. I just want to be so sad and I just want to cry. So I want to read this book. I am so sad that this will be the final book with these characters. I hope they like show up in this book a lot, because when I read Rewind It Back, I was like, okay, this is it. Like the characters are done. I'll never see and hear from them again. And I was like, no, we still have this book. Like, calm down. I was so sad and so upset, but I know I'm going to cry. And I love this edition. I think that is so gorgeous. She does such a good job with like her sprayed edges. I just cannot wait. I cannot wait. I'm going to cry. I know I'm going to cry. That is a lot of books that we just talked about, but I think that is everything that I'm going to be reading this month, and then everything that I read in March. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I would love to know what was your favorite book of March, and or what's like the 1 or 2 books that you have to read in April. But yeah, I hope you are having a great day, great spring. It's spring now, like bring on the pollen. That's what's been going on here. It's been killing me, but the nicer weather is so welcome. So I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye guys.